Okay, so now that we know how to identify a point on a number line, let's talk about how to find equivalent fractions. What's an equivalent fraction? What does equivalent mean? Alana.
Equivalent means equal.
Yes, another word for equivalent is equal. So they are the same value, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about, first I need someone to help me find what fraction goes with this number line, and I'm going to write it right here on the first line. Who's going to help me with that? Leilani.
3/4.
3/4. Okay, so one way to figure it out is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that my denominator is 4. And then I'm going to see what's shaded. How many spaces are shaded, you guys? Nolan.
1/4.
Right now, you're talking about this part?
Yeah.
Okay, what about how many spaces are shaded in the problem?
3/4.
3/4. 3 spaces are shaded, and we're talking about 4. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and write 3/4. Okay, so now they gave me different spaces, so I know that what changed about my fractions. What's something that changed about my fractions already, Ashton?
The denominator.
The denominator is changing. Who can tell me what my denominator is now on this number line? Sophia.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Great, so I'm talking about 8s. And I want you guys to make a quick observation. Do you notice anything right now? Let's go ahead and label these fractions as you're starting to think about that. What would go here?
1/4. 1/8.
1/8. What about this one?
2 8s, 3 8s, 4 8s, 5 8s, 6 8s, 7 8s.
Who can tell me what the whole thing is? Out of 8, I have 8, let's say I have 8 pieces, or 8 eighths. What would that be, Alyssa?
That would be 7/8.
This is 7/8, you're right. Then add one more.
8/8.
Yes, and that will give you the whole thing. 8/8 is one whole. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this real quick and see, do we see anything that looks equivalent to 3/4? Notice, one big point of this is that the zeros are the same and the ones are the same. Which, if you know, when we're comparing fractions and we're trying to find an equivalent fraction, we have to make sure that our whole is equivalent as well, right? Let's see, who's going to help me with that? Nathan.
Something that looks equal to it is 6/8.
6/8 is equivalent to 3/4. What do y'all think? Do you guys agree? I agree with that, absolutely. 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let's do one more. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay. I know that we can find equivalent fractions, like 2 more equivalent fractions within this number line, but let's just do another one and see. So now let's look at this one, number 4. Who's going to help me with this one? John.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So what does that give me?
6 as the denominator.
Perfect. 6 as a denominator. You're absolutely correct. And now I need to label all my numerators, correct? Dean, help me out.
1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6,
Just as a reminder, what's one whole?
6 6.
Right, because I have gotten all of my 6 pieces, correct. Okay, let's now see if we can find any equivalent fractions. See, they left it all open, so we need to label it, and then we need to find our equivalent fractions. Who's going to help me out? Aaliyah. Tell me how to find this one.
So
each space counts as one part of a fraction.
Correct. So let's find our denominator.
1, 2, 3.
So I'm talking about thirds on this number line. Do you guys see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what would go here? Maddox.
1/3.
1/3, because it's 1 out of all the spaces. What about this one, Hannah?
2/3.
2/3. And then, as a reminder, what is this one?
1
Sophia?
3/3.
3/3. Good job. So, do you guys see any equivalent fractions? Can you find any equivalent fractions? I know our I can statement says I can find equivalent fractions on a number line. Let's see. Ashton.
4/6 is equivalent to 2/3.
What do y'all think? 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3. Yes. These marks are hitting at the exact same distance from 0, so they are equivalent. Remember, again, your zeros have to align and your ones have to align when you're using number lines to find equivalent fractions. So 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3.